And turning cooler tonight across West Alabama. Look at those numbers here in just a few minutes.
And a change in course for a multi-million-dollar Tuscaloosa development. Why Sports Illustrated resort plans are on hold. And Alabama celebrations with a little education thrown in just for fun. WVUA 23 News starts right now.
This is WVUA 23 News.
And we're glad you're with us tonight. I'm Jabari Pruitt. In tonight's top story, our weather is making a shift to fall. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott is here. And Richard, will we see lower temperatures this week?
Hey, Jabari, kind of warm right now. Very slow shift to fall. We got 79 currently in Tuscaloosa, 82 in Linden, Birmingham, 80 degrees, but a cloudless sky all over the southeast, including in West Alabama. What a pretty day, though, but temperatures quite warm this afternoon. Tonight, going to feel awesome outside. We got 60 at 10. 54 at 1 a.m. So if you're going to be out late tonight or early tomorrow morning, got a very nice start to Wednesday. But again, Wednesday going to be a warm afternoon, that cool morning, very warm temperatures after lunch, 79 by noon tomorrow, 84 by mid-afternoon, and even warmer weather by the time we get into Thursday and Friday. More on that local forecast, Jabari, here in just a few minutes.
Richard, thank you. Well, the Tuscaloosa City Council is expected to accept the withdrawal of the Sports Illustrated Resort proposal. This comes after residents opposed the development during several public hearings. It would have included a 9-story hotel featuring timeshares and a condo units. Now, Council President Kip Tyner said the $250 million investment is good for the city. Well, Governor Kay Ivey has used her executive powers to immediately remove Kent Davis from office. Davis was the commissioner of the Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs. Now, Ivey has said repeatedly she doesn't trust him to run the agency. The governor did not attend the meeting today that she called. Now, she sent a designee to vote in her place. The governor named an interim director. Well, a Montgomery Circuit judge has appointed a mediator to negotiate the dispute over Alabama's medical marijuana licenses. Well, today, retired Circuit Judge Eugene Reese was appointed to the case. Alabama lawmakers approved a medical marijuana program in 2021 that allows access to marijuana for eligible medical conditions, but ongoing disputes over the licenses to grow and sell have halted any progress. Well, the Hill County College and the Career Academy partner with Ready of Tuscaloosa to host the inaugural Gen Z Summit. The summit was geared towards high schoolers and explored the dangerous topics of tobacco, vaping, alcohol, marijuana, and addiction. The students rotated through several displays and heard from an expert in small group setting. Now, organizers hope all the students learn valuable information about staying safe.
We definitely want them to understand the dangers of addiction and substance misuse. And so a lot of times they don't realize how truly dangerous it is. So we're here and we're providing statistics, say, hey, this is really dangerous, and you can stop, you can get recovery in this sense.
Now, today's sessions were informational. Tomorrow, the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency will be there with a drunk driving simulator for the students to participate in. Well, the Walker County Commission has approved a 24/7 medical coverage for the county jail. The sheriff's office announced the approval on Facebook Monday. The commission approved 16 hours of medical coverage in 2020, but that will soon change to all day, every day. The county jail was federally mandated in 1990 to have 24-hour medical care before the decree was lifted in 2006, almost 20 years ago. The sheriff says this will help change inmates in a positive way. He says an inmate's chances of returning to jail are lowered if they can start their journey off being healthy. Well, the Alabama Department of Transportation is working to come up with a statewide bicycle and pedestrian plan, and they want the public's input. ALDOT will be hosting 5 public workshops updating its plan. Now, they hope this plan will help develop safer and more accessible routes for non-motorized transportation. Now, they've scheduled sessions at several locations around the state, including right here in Tuscaloosa, hoping to maximize limited funding to improve bicycle and pedestrian facilities.
Right, so basically what it is the members of the public come out, they tell us what they would like to see. bicycle and pedestrian wise, moving forward with some of our projects and what we can do to enhance those aspects.
The Tuscaloosa workshops will take place on Monday from 5 to 7 p.m. at 2715 East Scotland Boulevard. Well, it's Teen Driver Safety Week, and studies show inexperience behind the wheel can make new drivers more prone to car wrecks. Motor vehicle crashes are a leading cause of death for U.S. teens ages 15 to 18. Now, there are ways for parents to set rules and expectations for a licensed teenage driver. Now, those include night driving restrictions, prohibiting phones and devices while driving, and requiring seatbelt use at all times.
Don't text and drive. Always buckle your seatbelt. Make sure that when you're driving, you are paying attention to the road and you're not participating in risky activities. We know that when teens drive late at night, when they're driving with more than one passenger, those are all things that increase their risk of getting in a crash.
Now, the National Highway Safety Administration says it's also important for parents to talk to their children about the dangers of drug and alcohol use. Now, remind them that it's against the law to drink under the age of 21, and it's illegal and deadly to be under the influence while driving. Well, Halloween comes early for Tuscaloosa, and this Thursday the city hosts its annual Trick or Treat event. Now, there are some big events for this year's event. Now, some big changes. Families will go table to table collecting candy, and each stop, children are introduced to different STEAM opportunities by interacting with city departments and community organizations.
Each year we do try to improve more and more. I think this year we focused on, because like I said, we had about 4,000 people come through last year. So to kind of spread it out a little more throughout the whole parking lot. Last year was great. We had a huge turnout. We estimated about 4,000 people came through. So it's a great community event, again, here in Alberta, free and open to the public. So we had a huge turnout year after year.
Now, the event runs from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Gateway in Alberta. Now, you can enter at either Alberta School of Performing Arts or across the street at Piggly Wiggly and walk across. Well, coming up, students, faculty, and alumni are beginning to enjoy homecoming festivities. We'll give you a rundown of all of the events this week, and we'll introduce you to an Alabama folk artist whose life paints a picture, how she uses her art to share that story with others. Stick around. We're coming right back. And the University of Alabama's Homecoming Week kicked off Monday with a full week of events. Now, Monday kicked off the week with a bowling event. Today, there's a dodgeball competition. Wednesday and Thursday will feature days of service for a chance to give back to the community, as well as a flag football tournament on Wednesday. Thursday is a choreo competition. Now, Friday is the pep rally and bonfire that will take place, where the homecoming queen will be announced. The National Panhellenic Council Step Show is also Friday night. For one woman at the Kentucky Arts Festival, the path from desperation to inspiration began with 30 days of fasting. Then, she says, God told her to start painting doors. Tom Granthes has more on the folk art of missionary Mary Proctor.
Yeah, that's cool.
The tent is humble.
How y'all doing?
The artist is driven.
I do this because I want to live.
Mary Proctor lives in bold paint
You must
and
find the
clear
purpose of
words,
life.
as she has since she wrote her first words.
When I was a child, a little girl, I used to write for Grandma, and I saw the excitement that I put it on her face. So I knew then that I could make Grandmama happy because I made Grandmama feel good.
Grandma remains at the heart of her work.
It's always got to do with Grandma. Always.
But her grandmother died in a mobile home fire 30 years ago. It almost broke Mary.
I screamed and I screamed and I screamed.
She fasted 30 days, and then she heard.
The Spirit spoke and said, paint, paint, paint and write. I'll give you the words to say.
She painted doors at first, doors with words on them. And people loved them so much that some found homes in the greatest museums in the nation.
Power's in my art. It raised me. I look at that when I'm down and depressed, I look at something and go, dang, I can turn my life around if I see somebody happy.
Mary Proctor praises the Lord for that, but recognizes that though the Spirit may guide her, she holds the brush.
I might not be nothing, but my art is.
In Tuscaloosa, I'm Tom Grant.
Now, Mary Proctor has been showing her work at the Kentucky Art Festival for more than 20 years.
And it is sunny and nice across West Alabama. Look at that local forecast after the break. Hear my forecast every day on Rock 106.3 FM. And And the day's getting shorter, so not too many more opportunities to show live beach cam during the 5 o'clock broadcast. And the 6 o'clock, here's what it looks like now from Gulf Shores. And hey, what a pretty afternoon. We got lots of sunshine, some high-level cirrus there, and the sun getting ready to set. The sunset time down there just after 6 p.m. So let's go to our Demopolis camera and check out things out the door in North Marengo County. What a nice looking afternoon there. There's a mighty Tombigbee River, and hey, a day like today, almost warm enough to go swimming down there. 81 in Demopolis. They topped out at 83 this afternoon. And from Broad-Denny Stadium here in Tuscaloosa, very pretty day, nice fall looking air out there, but understand it is very warm. Temperature still close to that 80-degree mark here in Tuscaloosa. And again, dry weather continues out there across the region. Here's a look at radar now. We got a no rainfall across central or west Alabama. Conditions remain dry in our neck of the woods and also pretty warm. Now Tuscaloosa has dropped below 80 at 79, 81 in Demopolis, and 80 in Birmingham. Put on the satellite. There's just nothing out there. No clouds at all across Alabama. And our forecast tonight will stay clear. At 10 o'clock, 60 will drop to 54 at 1 a.m. And forecast lows tonight, not as cool as last night, but still very nice out there. 50 tomorrow morning in Tuscaloosa, 46 in Jasper. Some of the cooler locations. Our Wednesday forecast, cobalt blue skies continue. 50 at daybreak here in the Tuscaloosa area. Warm to 79 by lunchtime. And again tomorrow here, we're already up to 84 by 3 o'clock. Tropics Oscar is dead. It was a tropical cyclone, now just a remnant low pressure over the Bahamas. Hey, we need the rain. We need it bad. And there's not a lot of the forecast coming up. However, on Sunday, we've introduced a small chance for a shower as it is possible. We could get a couple of showers along the I-20 corridor, but keep in mind the risk of rain is pretty low. Much of the country, very warm, unusually warm for this time of year. Got some 80s and 90s over the southern plains now. But there's some pretty chilly air back in Canada. There's evidence a big surge of some cooler air will come in early October, right around election time. So we are seeing signs of that change in the air. But again, the short term going to be quite warm with highs well into the 80s. Overnight lows also back in the 50s at night. So here's our 7-day. We got dry weather continuing over the next several days. So no chance of rain for our weekend coming up, at least for Saturday. Now Sunday, I can't totally rule out a brief shower out there, but understand the risk of rain for Sunday is very low. As we go into Monday and Tuesday, look for dry weather to return. Temperatures could be coming down just a little bit by the time we get into Monday and on Tuesday, with temperatures back into the mid-70s. All right, it is time to introduce you to this month's featured teacher. Recently visited Mr. Jeff Banks at Berry High School over in Fayette County to hand over his award. Mr. Banks.
Yes, how are you?
Good morning. My name is Richard Scott. I'm with WVUA 23 in Tuscaloosa, and we want to congratulate you. You are this month's featured teacher.
Well,
that's a big deal. That's awesome, guys.
I got into teaching because when I was in high school, my parents got divorced, and I had teachers who kind of mentored me, got me through that. And since then, I've wanted to give back because I had teachers who gave back to me. I put a lot of time into them because we have kids who need that. They need that extra time. And if there's a kid who comes to me and says, hey, I didn't understand what we did in class, is there any time we can meet? I'm not going to turn them down. I will find a time, if it's 6 o'clock in the morning, or if it's after they get through with practice, or if it's after they get through with the game. If a kid wants help, we'll find time to help them. The most rewarding thing as a teacher is every May when we walk those students across the stage, and we can look at them and go, they're ready for college, they're ready for a job, they're ready to join the military. They leave Berry High School going, we're ready for life. That's what it's all about.
All right, I'm Gary Harris. Coming up, Alabama defensive coordinator Kane Womack says the Crimson Tide needs to play complimentary football. And a Bama in the NFL update. King Henry, give him the crown. He ran wild against the Bucs last night in Tampa Bay. Highlights coming up next in WVUA 23 Sports. Former All-American offensive lineman Barrett Jones was selected to represent the University of Alabama as part of the Southeastern Conference Football Legends Class of 2024. Jones is one of 16 former stars who excelled on the gridiron and helped write the rich history of the sport at the capstone. The class will be honored at the 2024 SEC Football Weekend of Champions, December 6th and 7th in Atlanta. The group will also be recognized prior to the SEC Football Championship game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Saturday, December 7th. Jones played at Alabama from 2008 to 2012 and was part of 3 national championship teams. He played guard, tackle, and center and won the Outland Award in 2011 and the Remington Award in 2012. Phenomenal career. Congratulations to Barrett Jones. And good evening. I'm Gary Harris. Join Rodney Orr and me at 6:30 tonight for Tiger Insider TV. Well, Alabama has lost 2 games this month. The last time Bama lost 2 games in a season before November was 2007. Still, first-year head coach Kalen DeBoer believes this team can still become championship caliber.
We got to continue to, do what championship teams do, build on championship caliber teams do, build on your belief, build on your, just intensity in everything that you do, and then just have some grit. I think if you look across the championships that have been won in this program, obviously I wasn't a part of them, but there's probably a lot of common things that I just mentioned that are right there, and I firmly believe that this team is capable of that.
And Alabama has lost 2 of its last 3 games after falling to Tennessee this past Saturday, and the one win was by 2 points in a off and on effort at home against South Carolina. Now Missouri comes in on Saturday fully capable of spoiling the Crimson Tide's homecoming. If there's any good news coming out of the loss to the Vols, it is that the defense played better than in recent games. Alabama defensive coordinator Kane Womack says progress is being made, but that the team needs to find a way to play complementary football.
There are no excuses, right? The standard is the standard, and you have to find a way to win, and you have to find a way to play complementary football across the board. But these are some of the growing pains that we're going to deal with and continue to work through as a football team. But I think there's a ton of confidence in our players and coaches, and knowing that we are taking steps in a direction to be able to have great team chemistry.
And now to a Bama in the NFL update, and it's all about the King. The Baltimore Ravens won their 5th straight game Monday night, cruising past the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 41-31. Derrick Henry was unstoppable, running for 169 yards on 15 carries, including an 81-yard rumble in the 3rd quarter. Henry averaged more than 11 yards per carry and also caught a 13-yard touchdown pass from Lamar Jackson. In 7 games, the King has already rushed for 873 yards this season and is on pace for more than 2,100 yards rushing. And also in that game, Jabari Marlon Humphrey had 2 interceptions in the first half before leaving with an injury. And Alabama has gotten a commitment from a tight end out of Georgia, Marshall Pritchett, who was originally committed to North Carolina. He flipped to the Crimson Tide today. We'll have much more on that coming up tonight on TITV.
All right, Richard. And it's Gary. Thank you. Stick around. We're coming right back. And coming up on the news at 10, the suspect charged with the capital murder of Lowndes County Sheriff Big John Williams will soon learn his fate in court. We have details. And the 100-plus-year-old Stillman Boulevard Bridge is up for discussion at tonight's Tuscaloosa City Council meeting. Will it be replaced or upgraded? We have those stories and much more tonight at 10 o'clock. The eagle-eyed fishermen rush to the rescue when they see a man stranded at sea. Patrick Cornell has today's Take a Look at this.
This dot in the distance caught the attention of a pair of outdoorsmen enjoying a nice day on the water.
Originally, it almost looked like maybe a whale or a dead whale or something.
Upon closer inspection, they couldn't believe their eyes. A fellow sailor sitting on a capsized boat off the coast of Massachusetts. Joe Torme and Nick Whitbeck whipped into action, speeding over to the castaway to offer assistance.
I can't imagine how scared you could be in a situation like that where you can't call, you can just wave your hands.
The man said the boat flipped so fast he was thrown overboard, dropped his phone in the drink, and couldn't call for help. He tried to flag down boats for a full hour before our pair stopped to lend a hand. Joe and Nick got a life jacket on the stranded man and helped get him to the safety of a Coast Guard craft. They hope to see him out on the water again despite this unfortunate incident.
He's definitely, getting the boat fixed, and hopefully we'll see him out there fishing again at some point on the right side of the boat this time.
Speaking of sticky situations, a cell phone snafu left a woman caught in between a rock and a hard place, literally, just bare soles of her feet poking out. The walker made a big old Butterfinger blunder, dropping her phone between the boulders in Australia. While trying to retrieve the thing, she slipped and got stuck upside down for 7 hours. Friends tried to pull her out, and when that didn't work, they had to leave to go call for help because, ironically, they didn't have cell phone service. Incredibly, she escaped with only minor scratches, but it probably left her red in the face. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
And before we go, final score.
Yeah, Tyler Insider coming up tonight at 6:30. We'll preview the Missouri game. Rodney and I will have our score predictions, and we'll talk about whether or not Bama can get back on track.
All right, final weather.
Warm weather still in that forecast. Cool at night, but warm during the day. We'll be back in the middle 80s tomorrow, maybe some upper 80s on Friday. And then for the weekend, maybe some hope for a brief shower.
It is gorgeous, so I'm not complaining when I say that. It's beautiful. I would still like it to be a little bit cooler.
Yeah. And I think it will get cooler towards the end of next week. We'll drop back in the 70s for highs. And then later, I think around election time, maybe some really cool air coming back.
All right, that's it for us. Have a great evening.
See you.